guys, welcome to my podcast. My name is Danny Dash. If you don't know me, I'm behind Electronic Vortex, Techno Coffee, Techno School Bus, and a few other underground electronic events that happen in Dallas and throughout Texas. My podcast here is going to be focusing on DJ life, the underground electronic music scene, and the rise of Freakquency Festival, happening October 30th and 31st. Dallas's first Halloween 2-day festival right here in Dallas, Texas. This podcast, we're going to be bringing in some DJs who are going to be performing live at Freakquency Festival. And one of those DJs is DJ and producer Manta Rey. So I want to welcome Manta Rey to the podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do here in Dallas, and what you do in the underground scene.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this podcast, dude. So my name is Manta Rey. I'm a techno DJ and producer here in Dallas. I'm heavily involved in the underground scene here, and I throw the Techno Trolley, which is it's a party that we throw on a moving streetcar. I also am involved with the Techno Boat, which is a boat party we do every summer, and I love supporting my friends and all their underground events. But I'm a regular guy that loves techno, and I'm really honored to be part of this podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool because we're gonna have you performing, at Freakquency Festival. Dallas has been brewing a lot of parties, a lot of events, a lot of raves in the last 3 years since I've been a part of the scene. And a lot of things have been brewing lately. And one of those brewing things are the growth of these events going into festivals. So we're super excited about that. We're super excited to have you performing live. This festival was actually influenced and inspired by Germany's Stone Festival, which primarily focuses on the underground scene, underground artists within the local community, bringing them all in. No headliners that are nepo babies, no mega headliners. It's mainly focused on the underground DJs. So that's something that inspired us and influenced us when we went to Germany this past summer, and we want to talk a little bit about that. So how did that trip influence you as a DJ, and how did it inspire you to want to be a better producer?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was that it was very underground. When I went to this festival, I only knew maybe like one or two of the DJs there, and I feel like the focus was on the music. I think a lot of festivals have like a big headliner, and the focus is on the person playing the music. But I think at this festival, the focus was only on the music, and I think the people that attended the festival were very sophisticated, and they knew what they were getting into, like, pretty much.
Right. And there was something that was super cultured about that place because there was no phones out. I think I was, I'm guilty. I was one with the phone out, and that's how you can tell who an American was, because they had a phone, because it was just really amazing. People were playing live on synthesizers, and it was just really inspiring to see. And a lot of these booths were 360s, so people were able to gather around the DJ and really feel the music and be in community and connection with one another. And people were truly lost in the music, and that really inspired me. And when I went there, doing Electronic Vortex, doing techno and coffee, doing all these raves that we have been doing for the last 3 years, I just saw that Dallas needed this. This is something that we truly needed. So I'm super excited to bring it here. I'm super excited to bring over 50 of Texas' best underground DJs to Dallas, a 2-day festival. So we're super excited about that. And so tell us about what you want to do as far as your set and how you feel and envision it to be, because I know that you're going to be, one of our headliners, because you've, contributed so much, not only to, the Electronic Vortex family, but also to the Dallas community. And I feel like you deserve that recognition. So, what do you want people to feel and be inspired by when they see your set?
I appreciate it, brother. It's making me tingle.
But it's not tingle.
I think the biggest thing for me is, well, after going to that festival in Germany, I saw a lot of live performances. And what I mean by that is a lot of like Danny was talking about, a lot of drum machines and synthesizers, and all this like analog equipment. So that's something I've been investing in, and I'm hoping to try to introduce that to the Texas market. I don't think anybody here really plays or knows about analog stuff. I think so. That's one thing I want to bring a live performance aspect to my to the event, and also I think I want people to feel energized by my music. I play very fast, like peak time, raw hypnotic
Right, your
techno.
sets are amazing. I love your
appreciate
sets. I really do. They're really peak time sets.
Thank you, thank you. I really want people to feel like energized by my set, and I want people to dance. That's the biggest thing. I want people to put their phones away and just live in the moment, enjoy the moment, be in the present. I think everyone is always anxious about the past or the future. I think music has that power to make you focus in the now.
Right, be in the present.
Yeah, I think I want people to be present for my set, very much.
Right, and I feel like that is a lot of our culture too at Electronic Vortex and a lot of our events, that people don't have their phones out. People are so caught up in the moment, in the music, in the movement, that people don't bring out their phones. They will every so often, of course, to get that story in, and we appreciate that, because that helps us promote and helps us get the word out about these events. And so yeah, and a lot of the times these raves that I have, they mean a lot because they're sacred to me. I'm opening up a space for people to gather in communion and in community, and to celebrate each other, to celebrate life, to celebrate music. And for that moment in time, I know I've spoken to this before about this, that everyone forgets about their problems. Like, for instance, your set, no matter what you're going through, no matter the problems you may have, because I guarantee you we're all going through something at that very moment. We forget about the problems, we forget about whatever issues you have or what you're going through. So that's something that I really appreciate about your sets and about the events that we have, that people are not on their phones. They really are, in the moment and in the movement. So that's something really awesome. And going into that movement, I'd like to touch on the fact that I just saw a recent interview with Cascade, and Cascade was talking about how there was two big movements, waves happening. One happened in 2014 and another one happening now. The big EDM wave, and so what do you feel about that? How do you feel that, in 2014, a lot of these artists were able to take it mainstream to radio, and now it's mainstream to where everybody wants to be a part of, a house event, or a Sunday house, a rooftop event, or the next rave. And, every time you go to one of these events, a lot of times it's 30, 40, 50% of those people's first time going to a rave. So touch base on that.
Yeah, I think electronic music is growing rapidly here in the United States. I think the future is looking bright. Everybody and their mama's a DJ now, as
right.
they say. But,
Sync and play.
But no, I think electronic music is powerful. I think it has it's very unique, and I don't think any other genre of music really brings people together like electronic music. I could be wrong, but I feel like the electronic
Christian music, church music,
yes. I think the electronic music community is also part of the appeal, because everyone is so welcoming and friendly to each other, and I think that's people always want to feel like they're a part of something, and I've met some of the most incredible people in the electronic music scene. So I'm really happy to be a part of it and grow it, and I'm excited to see my friends grow their projects as well. So yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, so going into that, as far as the projects and the underground scene, how do you feel as though the underground scene is changing in Dallas? Because I know with the rise of these collectives that have been happening the last 3-4 years, and how they've been growing immensely, and how we've supported each other. How do you feel the scene in Dallas has changed in the last 3 years, and where do you think it's going?
It's definitely grown very fast. I think Dallas can be very flashy, and I think in the last 3 years, I feel like it's gotten more competitive. There's just more people in the game, so it's harder to stand out and be unique. But from what I can tell, Dallas is going to be on the international scene very soon, and we've got clubs opening left and right. There's like all these different collectives, all these underground events. Like there's whatever you want. There's something. There's something for you here in Dallas. Um, and it's got its pros and cons. Like I said, sometimes it can be very saturated, but at the same time, I think as a city, I think we're on the come up. I think we're going to be up there with like Las Vegas or Miami, Ibiza, or whatever it is. So
I
yeah.
actually agree with that 100%. For the, so, being in this industry, I mean, I've been in the entertainment industry for like 16 years, and I know how much it's grown, and I see it growing, a lot, especially in Dallas. I see electron. I when I first started, I could definitely see Dallas becoming an electronic music hub of the world. With Tulum and Ibiza. I know we don't have the beach. We have the Trinity River, but it'll do. There was just a rave under a bridge recently at um, what is it called?
The
Margaret Bridge.
the Margaret Hill Bridge.
Margaret Hill Bridge, right? And you were there. So how was that? How do you feel as though this collective is also changing? Because they're also a very amazing collective. I've met some of them, amazing people, really nice, really doing, their part to make Dallas a staple when it comes to those kind of events, like, the underground bridge, and then we have the hangar coming up soon. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. And then, so tell me a little bit about that. How you feel?
Yeah, I've noticed that there's been a trend, a really cool trend of taking music, like taking the event outside of the club. I think that club culture is kind of dying a little bit. Number one, because it's expensive.
Right, I
And
agree.
number two, I think people are slowly starting to um, realize that like alcohol, because the big clubs are all about selling alcohol. So I think
Right.
people are starting to realize it's not good for you, and they're starting to take the music outside of the club. So you've got all these like outdoor events. People are you get Danny's coffee shop rave, which is really cool. So I see this trend of enjoying music outside of these bottle service clubs. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where it leads to, and it's fun to be outside with your friends and be in the sun, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And being a DJ is it's fun. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to travel. I know it's sometimes cutthroat, especially for someone like me that is on the road almost every weekend. Um, but DJing, like you said, everybody and their mother is a DJ. Sync and play. Um, so what is it all the hype? Like, what do you think what is all the hype of being a DJ? Is it all the hype? Like, what is your thought about that? Like, is it all the hype, or what's the reality about being a DJ? Give me your thoughts about the reality of being a DJ in 2026.
I think I think people over glorify it. People only see like the best parts of being a DJ, but it's a lot harder than what people think. There's a lot of late nights, a lot of sleep deprivation. Um, there's a lot of hard work getting sets ready. It's hard standing out. I think social media is a big aspect. I don't think you can just be a DJ anymore. You have to like be a full-time influencer pretty much, and you have to you're basically a brand. So you have to put a lot of work into your brand to make it stand out. Um, and I mean, don't get me wrong, it's DJing is a lot of fun, but if you want to take it to the next level, I think it takes a lot of hard work and discipline. It just depends on what you're comfortable with and what kind of DJ you want to be.
Right, I
So,
agree. I agree on that 100%. So in that, um, what is the reality about being a DJ as far as like making it, a career and making a life out of it? Is it something that's possible? Do you think that, you're going to be able to do it? Are you doing it? How difficult has it or challenging has it been, in that
I think
field?
it looks different. It looks it's going to be different for each DJ. For me personally, I know I want to, uh, I want my success to be through my own music. I want to release my own music and release on certain labels. So I want to release an album eventually. So I think each it's going to look different for each DJ, but I think music production is a big step towards getting to the next level. Branding, networking. There's a lot that goes into it.
Right, I agree with you. So, as far as branding and networking, how do you feel when it comes to like the culture and the community? Um, you know, how when it comes to culture and community, how does that relate to like us going into Frequency Festival and us having this festival and how we're going to change, how we want to change the Dallas scene when it comes to, having a 2 day festival that primarily focuses on, um, you know, the underground DJs that are not normally given the opportunity to perform on a headliner stage, or that normally wouldn't get the opportunity to perform, in these kind of events.
Definitely, I think. Well, like we were talking about earlier, Dallas is very competitive, and not everybody gets a chance to play at a festival. So I think this is a great platform for some of the Dallas DJs, some underground DJs, to really get their sound out there, to get their name out there. Um, so I'm really happy that I feel like we've built a pretty strong community already. And I think this will be a great opportunity to keep growing the Dallas EDM scene and to um, give people a voice.
Yeah, I agree. So, how long have you been performing in the Dallas, like in the whole scene? And when did you first start? And when did you decide I want to be a part of this?
So I got started DJing during COVID.
Right,
I
like
was
everybody.
like everybody.
We're all DJs during
Everybody and their
COVID.
mama starting COVID.
Right, sync and play.
um, I was just bored and I bought like one of those beginner. It was a Pioneer, I think a SPJ. It was like a really small board, and I started playing with that. And then I went to a networking event. It was Ari.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Ari. We all
Ari.
start off with Ari.
Everybody started with Ari.
Thank you,
Shout
Ari.
out to Ari. One of Ari's
Who
events.
would we be without you, Ari?
uh, so I went there and I played, and then I met Ari, and I met a couple other people, and then I just started to grow and grow and grow. And then I went to the DJ school here in Dallas, which was I think it was like 2 months or so. I learned the basics. It was through there that I started getting like restaurant gigs. I played at New Surrett Steakhouse, and I played at Komodo for a little bit, and then I learned.
Right.
I started playing as an open format DJ, and then after that, I got into house music.
Right.
And I was like big into the house scene for about a year, and then one of my friends brought me over to the dark side, and she took me to a techno rave.
Right. That's all it takes, and you're ours.
And yeah, I haven't looked back ever since. And so I through these like 5-6 years, I've been slowly upgrading my equipment and learning how to play on like CDJs. I remember showing up to a club one time and I didn't know how to play on CDJs.
I think we all
And
have that story.
everybody
I
do.
think it's an untold story that we all have. I think we're
And you
talking
pretend
about
like
this.
you
We're like, yeah, we could do this, and we're just mixing in stuff and hoping that it just beat matches.
play cool,
Oh my
bro.
goodness!
You play cool.
Yes, guilty as charged. But that's how you start, and I actually I have so much appreciation and admiration for people like that just really put themselves out there, and it's like let's jump now. That I'm always about just jump, do it.
You got to take the risk. You got to take the risk in life. Sure.
Right. That's how I felt about Frequency Festival. I'm like, I know a lot of people who have been going to these events, and my friends and DJs who have been there since day one. Yeah, have known that that's always been the goal, is to do a festival, and so it's gonna be really amazing. So yeah, that was always the goal. Okay, so going into that, we're going into people just it's jump, and taking that risk. A lot of DJs, I actually have seen a lot of DJs do that. Just get on the decks and do their thing, and after a while, you see how they've progressed over time, and you're proud of a lot of these DJs, some not so much, but I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, amazing, to see how much all of us have grown over the last 3-4 years. So that's been really amazing and cool to see. So um, okay, so going into that, we're excited about Frequency Festival. It's a 2-day festival that's going to be featuring over 50 DJs. Most of the headliners are all underground, of course, from Texas. We're working with a few at this time, so we're excited to announce them. Hopefully by May 1st, we'll be able to announce the lineup. So we're excited about that. And so something I'd like to talk about too, and we're gonna, talk about, and we're gonna make some rules about this is tickets. People buying ticket last minute. So I saw a reel recently where this girl's like, if you don't buy your tickets when the festival announces, they're gonna increase and you're gonna pay almost double the price, which is typically the case, because as you get closer, the price do increase. So there's a culture now of something happening where people are buying tickets last minute, and it doesn't give the promoters a clear understanding of where they stand and what they can do as far as production wise, or how much more they can provide and a much more better experience, and putting finances into it. A lot of these ticket buyers are last minute. I would say the last show we had, which was over 600 people, Halloween Bloodbath Rave, downtown Dallas, Texas, Indie Bellum. I would say about 50% was all last minute ticket buyers, which is really crazy. So, what is your thoughts on last minute ticket buyers, and how is it kind of killing a lot of these parties that sometimes do get canceled?
It's interesting. I haven't personally, I haven't heard of that statistic or of that, like, I haven't seen that reel yet, but
Right.
it makes sense. I can see how buying tickets last minute can like throw a promoter off. I think it helps a lot to know early on what's your budget. If people buy tickets really late, then you have no idea how much you can invest in your event. Um, so yeah, I think it helps a lot to purchase tickets early.
Right. So make sure you purchase your tickets early. Okay. So on that, the frequency stage map. We just released the frequency map, um, and it's 4 stages total, which includes the main stage, the forest vortex stage, techno bus stage, and then the lake stage. So we're actually going to have a DJ performing in the middle of the lake, and then of course people can gather around and enjoy the show. So it's going to be really cool. We're going to have food out there, vendors. We're going to have some fire dancers. It's going to be really amazing, really cool. We're super excited about this festival. So the stage, how do you feel about the stage map? Did you see it? Is it awesome? What did you
I
think?
did, I did. I'm really excited. I saw there's like a lake in the middle.
Right.
uh, yeah, I haven't. I saw a little. Danny sent me a little video. It
Right.
looked really cool.
Clips.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I've never been to anything like that here in Dallas. I feel like most events take place like downtown or
Right. In the
uptown, and
concrete jungle.
this is like, from what I can tell, like outside of the city limits.
Right. So just so that you know, it's about 15 minutes south of downtown Dallas. So it's not even that far whatsoever. We do encourage rideshare, and y'all do carpool. There's going to be unlimited parking, so we do have parking for everybody. So that's going to be really cool. And then also we are going to be having the main stage production, which includes one of my tour productions that I've toured with, who tours with me on my Michael Jackson tribute concert. They were one of the first production companies that I used, and so they're going to be producing the first main stage for Electronic Vortex Frequency Festival. So that's going to be really cool. Shout out to them, Lubbock, Texas, coming into Dallas, Texas. And then we have our lake stage, which includes studio sessions. Studio sessions, they're
Yes.
amazing. They have amazing production that they produce, video, audio, video, reels, clips, photography. They're amazing. We love them. Shout out to them in Dallas, Texas. Make sure you follow them. They are going to be producing the lake stage. So that's going to be really cool. We're going to have a DJ performing, like I said, in the middle of the lake. Everyone gather around. So that's going to be awesome. And then the forest stage. It's going to be in the forest. Well, obviously it's not the forest, but it's a whole bunch of trees that gives you the feeling that you're in the forest. And so I'm actually really excited to perform on that one. That's going to be one of the stages that I'll be performing on, and hopefully headlining. We'll see though.
It's your event, bro. You can
We'll see what
headline.
happens. Um, but I'm excited about that. So we're gonna be. Hopefully, you get to check it out. Make sure you check out the map right now on the Frequency Festival Instagram page. If you're not following it, make sure you do follow it. Um, so tell us a little bit about you and your duo that you have. It's Techno Cat Daddies. It's
Yes.
really
So
cool.
I have a duo project with my friend Angel. We are the Techno Cat Daddies, and we both have cats and we both love techno, so we decided to combine those two
Right.
into one moniker. So we're the Techno Cat Daddies. We play raw hypnotic techno, but we're very fluid, so we can dip into other genres of techno.
Right.
We play at a lot of after hours events here in Dallas. We also have a YouTube channel where we do sets out in public places.
Right, which I've seen, which are awesome. And if you haven't followed him on YouTube, make sure you follow him on YouTube. We'll have links on the page with the podcast on the YouTube, so you can check that out. So go on.
Yeah, Angel's a really talented DJ, and it's a lot of fun to play with him. And I think we play we feel each other's energy, and we're really good at reading each other. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to play with him, and I'm honored that we've played a lot of Danny's events too.
Right, he's somebody else that actually played. I love Angel. Shout out to Angel and
Shout out to Angel.
right for all he's done for not only Electronic Vortex but the underground, electronic music scene here in Dallas. He's actually somebody that's one of the few that actually plays live and synthesizes live. Him and Manta Rey. The last event we did, I think it was almost half a year ago, at Electronic Vortex. He did do a live synthesizing event. But again, like you said, most people are not really familiarized with that in Dallas. So people didn't know he was playing live. Sometimes I wish we had a sign there that says he's playing live. But we did let a lot of people know, and people were really impressed, and so that was really cool.
I think it's cool to educate people. I think Dallas is still like a few years behind some other cities. I think we're definitely behind some European cities. I think Europe in general is like they're the trendsetters with music, at least in electronic music. I know that's a hot take, but
right. I mean, there's a few. We could say Chicago, and we could say, because I mean, obviously Chicago is where the birth of techno happened. But yeah, definitely they've definitely made it their own, rewrapped it, and have made it amazing and unique in their own way and in their own culture. So going on that topic, when we were in Germany, at Essen, in Essen, Germany, Frankfurt, tell us a little bit about that experience, like just being in Germany, like just going and like being a part of the underground scene, meeting people that meeting the Euros, the techno Euros.
the OGs.
They're real like this is it.
Well, first off, the festival was really cool because it's at a old steel
right,
plant.
the industrial steel plant from World War II, that was actually bombed. So Essen was bombed, but the reason they bombed it was because of that particular.
It was like an industrial center.
Right, it was able to produce steel. So it does have a lot of history. It was really nice. But go on.
But yeah, I think like I said earlier, I think Dallas can be very flashy and focused on the wrong things. I think a lot of people are focused on clout and status, and in Europe, or at least at this festival, like the music was all on the music, or the focus was all on the music. And everybody there was really nice and really humble, down to earth. Everybody was friendly. I felt there was people from all over the world.
Right, we actually met some people from Dallas, right? Or there was one couple I met from Dallas. They were friends, but they weren't living in Dallas. Now they had moved to Arizona, but they were in Dallas at one point, and now living in Arizona. And now we met them in Essen, Germany, of all places. And then we met a couple of other people as well who were Americans. and a few other DJs who were from Arizona.
Yeah, we
You know,
met a few Americans out there, but everyone there was like, everybody knew what they were getting into. Like there was nobody there on accident. Like everybody there loved techno,
right?
and
Exactly.
like they were,
They didn't want you to
even
see
like
your
the way they
phones.
dressed, like everybody was like, they
Right.
understood the assignment. Everybody's just in all black, and like the fashion was awesome. It could have
Right.
been like a fashion show if there was no music.
Right. I will say that the last techno school bus that we had was very fashionable. It was during the freeze. It was right after the freeze, so we were all excited to get out of the house and do something. And people were worried about the cold, but I made sure that everybody, we have to culture it. And so, everybody understood the assignment. They were big fur black coats. It looked so amazing and cool. And we just all looked really techno. So it's
We look
really
like a
fun.
bunch of Germans in
Right,
Texas.
eventually, yeah, exactly. And yeah, so it was really cool and fun. Um, and I just loved everybody having those black coats and just feeling like we're part of a culture, we're part of a movement, we're part of something bigger, because in the future, we are running so that they can walk.
I think where sometimes you have to like educate people, like you have to force feed them
Right,
really cool things, and then they'll be like, oh, what is this? Like I really, they'll start to like it. I think if people, you have to like force people to get out of their comfort zone a little bit so they can experience new
right,
music, and like raw hypnotic techno is not big here in Dallas yet. Like you can't go to
right,
a bottle service club and play raw. People are going to be confused.
right,
But I think it's really cool to be able to show people these new sounds, and some of them end up really liking them, and it's cool to be in that position to educate people about
right. I
music.
will say that a lot of times people don't really know if they like it or not because they never really heard it. So
Yeah,
sometimes you have to show people what they like,
exactly. Yeah.
and introduce them to music that otherwise they probably would never hear. So, and as far as your music, where do you get a lot of your music from? Where do you get a lot of your music inspiration from when you produce your music?
Definitely. I think my sound is a blend of like peak time techno and raw hypnotic. So my number one favorite DJ is Eli Brown.
Right,
He's like 140 BPM peak time techno with a lot of like rolling bass lines and like looping vocals, and I just love his sound. But then again, I also really love the underground sound that we heard in Germany, like guys like Ignez and Rodhad and Renee Wise, like all those guys that nobody here really knows about. But
right.
like,
And who was that DJ that I saw at first? Numeron,
which one? We
Asian DJ.
Oh, DJ Nobu.
Nubu.
Nobu, yeah,
Right. It's somebody that was incredibly talented,
yeah, yeah.
performing live. Um,
It's
that was
awesome.
really awesome. Yeah.
Ben Clock was incredible.
Right.
I got to I got to stand behind him for like
Right.
his entire set,
Right.
which was cool. Trying to think who else we saw. We saw like the big table of all analog equipment,
Right. Which I've
which is
never really seen somebody have that much. I don't. Well, actually, it was. I don't think anyone's seen that many people because it was like 4 or 5 DJs performing live. It was
it wasn't
incredible
even DJing. It was just they're like making music
music, and it was
live.
just all just coming together as like one big, you know,
It was unbelievable.
orchestratic music. I don't know.
Exactly.
So it was really cool. So what was one of your most prominent memories of that festival?
I would say Ben Clock was the highlight of the
Right,
entire festival for me. Just because I got to stand right behind him, and I could see what he was doing on the CDJs and how he was doing his transitions, how he was doing his like effects, he
right,
was doing his loops, how he was reading the crowd. Um, he like put on one of the best performances I've ever seen, and um, it was very like he was very like composed. Like he never let himself get too like excited, or like he was just kind of steady the whole time, which I think
kept
is
you in that moment
he was
and in that
focused.
like yeah, but it kept you right with him.
Exactly. He was focused on the crowd,
And it's
on the
very
music.
rare for a DJ to do that because sometimes you kind of get lost. And, speaking of lost, we would get lost. I know I
We got
had my lost
lost.
moments where I would just venture off, and then I would just end up somewhere and just in the music and in the moment and just like, you have to get lost. Those are the moments that are like you go by
That's a good
yourself,
thing.
right? Yeah, I
He
had
went
to
on a
I
side
had to
quest. A
I went
side
on my
quest.
side quests and they were amazing. I got to like just be in the moment and like go into the middle of the crowd and just be in the music and get lost and really in the moment, and it was really
You were in the
awesome.
present, dude.
Right,
You were
exactly.
present.
And so you also had your lost moments, as I recall.
We all did, dude. We had our side quest, dude.
Right, we had our side quest. How was your side quest?
Dude, I don't even remember. I feel like I was on a side quest majority of the time. I remember we went to the afters one night, which was
Oh, that was so
like
incredible.
what's cool about this festival is
Oh my goodness.
it's all run down. It's like
Right.
very industrial
Which I
looking.
love, right.
It's like it's like very it's like urbex. It's like all
Right.
rust and
It's
like
like if you're
iron
in
steel.
Detroit and it's been abandoned for like 50 years.
Exactly. But it goes so well with techno. It's like
Right. It just one on one.
urban decay and
Right.
techno are like that. But I remember we went to the afters one night, and I kind of got lost in the crowd. But I was just like looking. I was like enjoying the music, but I was also just like looking at like the structures and the ceiling and like the I don't. It was like some like room like up in the factory. I don't know if
Right.
you remember. There was like this. It was all like architecture from like the 1940s. Like
Right, the 1940s. And a lot of people don't know this, but the reason why, techno and, industrial were able to go hand in hand together was because after the war, Germany was literally bankrupt. And so these manufacturing plants or these, industrial plants were empty. There was no factory movement going on. So people found these places and decided to, create movement and
they're like safe
moments.
spaces.
Right, safe spaces and music and moments, and it grew into a culture that it is today, and and a culture that we still hang on, and that we want to bring to Dallas, and that's what I see for Frequency Festival. Now, Frequency Festival is at a Texas ranch. It's not industrial, but of course there is an industrial building there that will have the main stage in. Also the lake and then the forest. So it's more with nature in this one. But as we continue to grow and all the other events we have, we will, obviously intertwined with that. Like most of our events have been at warehouses or places that have been kind of, are questionable.
That's what makes it fun, dude.
Right, exactly.
You can't have tech. It can't be too clean, dude. It's got to
Right,
be
exactly.
a little sketchy.
And I feel like that's the problem with Dallas. I mean, I don't want to say that's a problem. I just say that's just probably not for me or for a lot of other people that are in our movement, in our culture, is that we don't want to go spend $30 on a bottle of water. We don't want to spend $40 on a Jack and Coke, and we want to go where everyone's just chilled, laid back, wearing black, and just like
it's not flashy. It's not
right.
it's not about cloud. It's not,
But the thing about that is they're popping up those things every other month. There's a new place where DJs are gonna play, and but it's the same thing. It's like they're all the same. There's no event. There's no experience. It's just here's another club disguised as a DJ event or DJ something, but it's just another club. A lot of these places are just other clubs to me. And speaking of that, and going into that, how do you feel about performing at clubs? Is that something you want to continue to do, or is that something you kind of see yourself transitioning out of and focusing more on like festivals, focusing more on like afters, or do you see yourself wanting to stay, and in clubs?
I think for me the priority is I do like playing at clubs only because I love playing on a good sound system.
Right.
I'm sober, so I don't drink or do drugs or anything. So I'm not into like the bottle service or any of that. But I do love feeling that like powerful
Bass,
club system. But I also love playing underground events and playing outside. I think for me the priority is playing on a good sound system.
Yeah, I see that. So I kind of transitioned to this thing where I kind of just got tired of performing at clubs, and just because a lot of people are drunk and
Well,
they want to do
you got some
requests.
crazy stories?
They're like the drunk requests. No, I just wanted to transition to like focusing on raves and focusing on the movement and focusing on like maybe festivals, you know. And so that's kind of what I want to do. And so I kind of made a decision for myself was that I'm going to, you know, not do those clubs anymore just because I mean, I do love the bass and I do like feeling that. But to be honest, I've been to so many clubs where they have all the bass. I mean, you know, the whole system, but you don't really feel the bass sometimes.
Yeah,
A couple of
definitely,
places.
definitely.
I will say though, I was at It'll Do last night to see Inertia and to see Genesis play, and Genesis was amazing. Um,
Shout out to It'll Do. That's my
right,
favorite
their
club. That's my.
bass
I mean, that's a club, but the focus
is the
is on the
music
music. Like
and the movement, and it's like you feel that band. I'm like, wow, it's such a small space, but you just feel the bass, you know, and it's a place that I really enjoy being. And
you feel the bass, dude.
you feel the bass, you feel the bass. So, speaking of bass, we are about 6 months or 7 months out until Frequency Festival, and we're super excited about this festival. Like I said, the map is out. We have 4 stages. Techno Bus is going to be there. So speaking about that, I feel like if you do go to this festival, you're going to find love. So what stage will you find your love at? So that's my whole thing. What stage will you find your love at? Will it be the Vortex Forest stage? Or will it be the main stage inside the industrial building? Or will it be at the lake stage with the 2 ducks falling in love? I don't know. I just feel like on Halloween we're all just gonna be looking scary and just falling in love. So I'm super excited about the map. Make sure you check it out. Um, what do you think about that? Have you ever fallen in love at a stage before?
I have.
Right, I think we all have. The one that got away.
No, yeah, I met my girlfriend I was DJing and she's a dancer. She's a shuffler. Shout out to the DFW shufflers.
Yeah,
Um,
Jefflers,
I
Shuffle Fam.
I think love, like, it can definitely happen at a stage because you're letting loose, like you're enjoying the moment. I think it's a very like very for some people it's a very vulnerable moment to just like
Right.
let go of your all your day-to-day troubles and just be in the present. And I think you're very for some people that you're very like authentic in those moments. So I think love can happen when people are authentic
Right.
with
I
each
feel
other.
like that's the most authentic and you're vulnerable and you're just like you're dancing and I mean for sure. So look, he found love on the dance floor on one of those stages out there, and so will you. So make sure you come out, get your tickets. Tier 1 is literally sold out. We just sold out. We do expect a full out sold out show because it is a very limited capacity at the festival. So make sure you get your tickets. And again, we do expect you to be falling in love at one of the stages. What stage will you fall in love at? Maybe it may actually be on the Techno School Bus. Just like when you first fell in love, when you were getting taken home and you had your first crush. It may happen all over again on the Techno School Bus, but we'll find out October 30th and 31st, only here in Dallas, Texas. Make sure you get your tickets. I want to thank Manta Rey for being here today as one of my first guests. We're going to be bringing on more guests throughout the weeks. Some of the guests that are going to be performing live at Frequency Festival. So once again, I want to say thank you so much for being here. You were awesome, incredible. Thank you for all the work you're doing on the underground scene. Thank you for all the work you've done for Electronic Vortex, and continue to slay.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Is there anything you want to tell anybody in Dallas?
Uh, no, just come out to the festival, and there's going to be a lot of great talent playing, and Danny always puts on a great event. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how it turns out, and hopefully we'll see you guys there.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you there. So get your tickets. We'll see you. Love you. Thank you. Peace be with you. God be with you. Be safe with each other and be safe with